Hi everyone, this is Miss Ashley, and today we're going to be talking about creative writing, particularly the first stages of creative writing. So maybe you have a story idea that you think is just wonderful and you want to write it, but you don't really quite know where to start. So here's a few questions that I always ask myself before I start a creative writing piece. First of all, why should I tell this story? This really matters because when you're trying to sell your book or you're trying to get people to read it, there needs to be some sort of hook, something that grabs them. I really like things that are imaginative, that connect us to one another, and that give us a sense of purpose and a sense of well-being. So why should you tell your story? Do you want to tell your story because it's very exciting? Do you want to tell your story because you have some sort of great character that you feel like everybody should know about? You need to know why you want to write it before you write it. And that will keep you going, it'll keep you excited. And then later when you're trying to either sell your book or get people excited about your book, you'll have something that just naturally kind of gets them excited because you're excited about it. And then the next thing is, how should I tell this story? Different stories need to have different tones, styles, and voices. Figure out what is the tone, what's the style that I want to go for. Do I want bright, happy words? Do I want kind of drizzly gray words that sound like a rainy day? And it might change from chapter to chapter as well, because maybe you have a scene that's really happy and you want to put a lot of bright, happy words around that. And then maybe you have a scene that's quite sad, and so you want the scenery to match that emotion. So you want to figure out what's my style. And I think one of the things that writers can do right away is, what are my favorite words? Write a list of your favorite words, because that really sets you apart from other writers. When I pick up a book and I start looking through it and I am deciding whether I'm going to buy it or not, the thing that I look for the most is vocabulary and names. Those are the two things that I really look for. There are certain words that I just really enjoy. I love the words indigo and elongated, and I like more elegant sounding words, I guess, or funny sounding words. I read a lot of children's fiction, and in children's fiction we have so many fun zany words, like zany right there. That's a fun word, right? So you can have certain words that just pop and you like them a lot. So write a list of those. And of course you don't want to overuse them, but when you start writing, you want to have a palette. It's sort of like being a painter, and painters usually have favorite colors, and so you can tell when you're looking at a painting, you go, oh yes, I know who painted this because of the color choice and the way that they use their brush. It's the exact same with words. You're picking words like their colors. So have a list of your favorite words. And then what sets this story apart from other people's stories? That's something that you really want to be paying attention to. Why is your story? Because I'm just going to give you a little tip here. There is really no original story. So don't worry about being original. Just worry about telling it from your perspective. There is no other you, so you see things in a particular way. I wrote a children's fiction, and one of the things that I thought set it apart was, I used to, when I was younger, I was a very anxious person. And so I thought, well, I think it would be a good idea to write a children's fiction that dealt with anxiety in a way that was kind of fun and whimsical and didn't over focus on it, but I still talked about that issue. And so that was my perspective on it. And it's a story that's very cute and fun, and it has been, I would say, it's like one of those little animal type stories where a person meets an animal that talks, and they have a lot of fun. And those are always, I mean, they have been around for a very long time, but I wanted to tell one with my particular voice, my particular style. And so that's how I felt that it was set apart from all the other little fun animal stories like Stuart Little and Charlotte's Web and all the myriads of others. So those are some things just to get you started on your creative fiction pieces. So just to go over them again, why should I be telling this story? Think about that. How should I tell this story, and what sets this story apart from others? So I hope that gives you some good tips to start, and I will see you again later.